I'm glad you all made it back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
you
we
were-
all had to get COVID tested the day before.
Before you left
Yeah,
here?
yeah. No, the day before we left Mexico.
Oh.
We could get to Mexico just without anything, but we
Just
couldn't
getting
get
back
back.
from, yeah.
Is Brandy coming?
As far as I know, I haven't heard either.
Did you start recording? We're ready. Good evening. We do have a member of the Minister Alliance. Would you please come forward and pray for us this evening?
Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much just for this opportunity of just meeting here together tonight to discuss the business of the city of Oak Grove. Lord, I just pray that you would give each person here divine wisdom, those who have specific issues to talk about. And Father, I just pray that you will bless everyone's time here together tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the May 3rd, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Jeremy Taylor.
Here.
Brandy Carroll. Kelly Netto.
Here.
Kim Vickers.
Here.
Brad Alexander.
Present.
Jim Shrout.
Here?
Dana Webb.
Here. The next item on the agenda is new business, deletions, or continuances to the agenda. We do not have any of those this evening, so we will move on to public comments. Do we have any of those tonight, Kathy? All right. We do not have any public comments, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. If any item proposed to the consent agenda does not meet with approval of all board members, that item will be removed and heard in regular time. Tonight, we have two items on the consent agenda. Approval of the April 19th, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes and expenditures through April 29, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business, and we do not have any of that tonight, so we will move on to new business. Our first new business would be the swearing in of a newly elected alderwoman. Last week, we swore in two of them, Kelly and Brandy. Kim was not here, so tonight is Kim's night.
I, Kim Vickers. Do solemnly swear. That I possess all the qualifications. For the office of Alderman Ward 3. Of the city of Oak Grove. That I will faithfully perform the duties. Of the office of Alderman Ward 3. In accordance with the laws of the state of Missouri. And the ordinances of the city of Oak Grove. And that I will honorably demean myself office.
Good job, Kim. Next on the agenda, we have a couple of presentations tonight. Our first one, I would need for Robert to come forward, and the police officers and chief. And that's it, right? Okay.
There he is.
So for those of you that do not know, this is Robert, and Robert did something that some adults would probably not even know how to do or do in their lifetime. Robert was the young man that on the school bus got the gun from another kid, unloaded it, and brought it up to the school bus driver. So we all feel like that is an act of being a hero. You know? So we wanted to recognize him tonight, have a bravery plaque for him, and just make it be known that we're very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Very proud.
Very proud.
Do any of you gentlemen have anything to say? You already said? Yeah. So this has your name on it, and then it talks about that you were fearless and how you had composure during that time. It has the date of March 26, 2021. It actually has the time. So this is yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe have the mayor come up with you?
Yeah. Can these guys come?
And the officers, yeah.
Yeah.
All the way?
All right. And 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Good job, bud. Nice work. Woo! Very cool.
So who do we have here tonight? I see some of you, but you get to come up from the school district. Whoever's here from the school district, please come forward. So we tried to recognize you during our Christmas tree lighting. We wanted you guys to be a part of the whole school district, but then also we wanted to make it really official and do a proclamation. So, but the way we do a proclamation, if you haven't done one before, is I'll read this. There's a lot of whereases, but I'll read it through, and then you guys get to take it and do whatever you want with it. So, can you introduce yourselves? I mean, I know who some of you are. Can you introduce yourselves so everybody knows?
I'm Tom Huffington, I'm the Assistant Superintendent.
I'm Laura Oywood, the primary principal. Fatima Campbell, Director of Special Ed. Misty Reed, Principal Elementary.
Thank you. I could go on and tell about how tremendous of a job you've done this year, but this pretty much says it, so just listen closely. Whereas the Oak Grove School District has exhibited strength and innovation in rising to the challenge of educating their students in an unprecedented time, transitioning from traditional ways of preparing lessons and materials to finding new ways to teach and connect with students while having to deal with the effects of COVID-19 in their personal lives, as well as, and whereas the Oak Grove School District is committed to ensuring student success using existing resources and tools in new ways and developing systems and practices that are completely new and will continue to provide benefits down the road. And whereas the Oak Grove School District is actively engaged in learning during these extraordinary circumstances, and they have done that and gone above and beyond in supporting the social and emotional well-being of students and their families. Education may look a little different right now, but the commitment and care that is provided to the students and the families throughout the district is an ever-present part of an education system. And whereas the Oak Grove School District at every level expended countless hours preparing lessons, delivering instruction, developing character, compassion, creativity, nurturing, inspiring, and encouraging academic, social, and emotional growth. And for some students, they are the one constant in an ever-changing and unpredictable world. And whereas during this unimaginable and unprecedented scenario, there have been many challenges, probably still more to come, but it has been brought to each and one of ours attention that every member of the Oak Grove School District, every member, all of you deserve our respect and gratitude for your dedication to your students and with your positive impact reflects in the students and it reflects in our communities and the future of our nation. Now, therefore, I, Dana R. Webb, and the Board of Aldermen and Women of the City of Oak Grove do hereby recognize the entire Oak Grove School District, each employee, for their outstanding work and dedication as we are impressed and we are grateful for your efforts and your ingenuity. So on this day, we recognize you and we thank you for effort. You have the board behind you?
No.
Good, peek through.
I'll peek over here. Prettier people leave me in the picture.
No, you and them a little bit farther. A little bit farther still.
Golly.
Oh, I thought you wanted them.
No, it gets a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little much.
3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1.
It's a little weird.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything you've done.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That would have been hard to do with
Look like you were swimming.
part of the Red Sea of Alderman. Yeah, it did clear them out real quick.
There's everybody. There went the group.
There it is.
No, chief, you can't leave.
You need to have these at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Make them separate.
All right, the next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a request from the Purple Peace Foundation to have a fireworks tent at the Oak Grove truck stop from June 24th, 2021 to July 5th, 2021. Do we have someone here for that? Is it you, Kathy?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's here, but they usually do this each year. Used to be the Booster Club, now it's the Purple Peace Foundation is doing that. And the location is going to be the same as before. Everything's basically the same.
Okay. Does the board have any questions about it?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the tent at the Oak Grove truck stop with Purple Peace Foundation. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance approving the final plat for Cedar Ridge Heights, second plat, lots 8 through 15, 20 through 39, and Track A in Oak Grove, Jackson County, Missouri.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Danny Graham from Graham Homes Construction LLC could not be here tonight, so on his behalf is Jeremy Powell with Powell Engineering. A little history on this parcel of land. On September 20th, 2018, the preliminary plat was approved by Planning and Zoning, which contained 26.85 acres, and it was in residential R1 zoning. On March 19th, 2019, the first plat was approved by Planning and Zoning, which contained 7 lots on 7.83 acres. And then on April 1st, the Board of Aldermen approved that first plat. On the last P&Z meeting on April 20th, the Cedar Ridge Heights second plat was approved by Planning and Zoning with a vote of 8-0. And tonight we are here on May 3rd to talk about it with the Board of Aldermen. The second plat contains 28 lots on 15.12 acres, and there will be a third plat in the future. As you can see here on the map, this is generally located south of Southwest 15th Street and east of Cemetery Road. The phase 1 were those 7 lots right adjacent to Cemetery Road, and then the part of phase 2 is what you see here on the north end, and then there's some on the south end that'll be part of phase 3. This is the proposed second plat. As you can see, it doesn't quite match the remaining property that was not included in phase 1, which is why there'll be a phase 3. Our code describes how we approve the planning process, and I just like to put this on there to show that if it substantially is the same as the preliminary plat, that we more or less need to approve it. There are some differences, which I'm about ready to point out. On the, as you can see here, on the left-hand side, right at that knuckle, there's a Tract A detention basin. On the original preliminary plat, that was going to be a sellable lot, so this will now be a detention for the north part of this development, which is a good thing. And then on the south end of this, you'll see some unplatted area. On the top is the proposed second plat, and the bottom is the preliminary plat. You see an unplatted section. And the reason is, right below this subdivision, there is an old 1966, what we call a paper plat, where it was platted, but the infrastructure was never constructed. Mr. Graham owns all of these lots with the exception of lots 15 and 16, so he is going to incorporate everything minus lots 15 and 16 into the next phase. And so the area above lots 10 through 15 is that unplatted area that will make lots 10 through 15 a little longer than and the original lots 20 through 24 not quite as deep. All these lots still meet our current UDC for R1 zoning, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have any questions? Would you like to hear from Mr. Powell?
Sure.
Do you have any questions for him?
Oh, no, I just thought he had a presentation.
No, I just meant if you had any questions.
No.
He's here to represent the builder, developer.
Okay.
Motion for the first and second reading by title only.
Second.
Have a motion for this first and second reading by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving the final plat for Cedar Ridge Heights, second plat, lots 8 through 15, 20 through 39, and Tract A in Oak Grove, Jackson County, Missouri. An ordinance approving the final plat for Cedar Ridge Heights, second plat, lots 8 through 15, 20 through 39, and Tract A in Oak Grove, Jackson County, Missouri.
Motion to approve the ordinance with adoption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? Would you please call the roll?
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Kelly Netto,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Jim Shrout.
Yes.
The ordinance is approved. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding approval to the purchase of a security system cameras for the police department and city hall. I bet that's you, Chief.
That is. Thank you, Mayor and Board. This is going back early April when we found that our security system combined for both buildings, or for the entire building, was inoperative. Pretty much, we had 2 of the 5 viewing monitors that were up, and that just is not going to cover us for both the safety of the employees coming and going, as well as the evidentiary value video that we need from detention in prisoner processing and handling. We had gotten to the point that Chad Luchin, our IT contractor, was basically doing the baling wire and duct tape for us on a system that had would not fit the needs of the department. And so in conversation with him, he had discussed a system that he has used for other entities, other municipalities, that would better fit our needs. And we, at that point, talked about what I felt we needed and kind of a price line. At the same time, I was looking at removing the fence project, and so I took on this project in turn because it answers some of the questions that the fence project would do. So what I'm seeking and what I'm asking for tonight is approval to complete the purchase on this, which would be a modern system using the Unify system. This is taking the cameras to the best HD quality that we have. It's going to give us a 50% higher resolution on those cameras. Each camera is going to have a 2-way audio availability to it. So even in here, as we have the conference room in the back, on court nights, we have officers that are waiting to testify in the back, but they can't hear what's going on, so we have to go back and get them. But the system will be such that the conference room itself would be able to hear what's going on out here, as well as other areas within the building. We have the ability to remote into the system for those that are selected to by our cell phones, our laptops, our iPads. So myself, city administrator, or those in that position can check on things if something does arise. There's no subscription fees. And this is motion detecting tabbing on all the videos we have. So if you're familiar with your Ring doorbells, if you have something happen at your home, you don't have to sit there and watch 6 hours of Ring video. You have the little tabs that show that motion was detected. This system does that as well. So if we have evidentiary value video that comes from the jail, then we don't have to go through 4 hours of jail video. We go to where the tabbing that shows there's motion. This is a proven system installed in other agencies, and the Unified product is a long-standing product, and it's really the best on the market we could get right now. And my goal was to find a product using the capital funds that was, I needed something under 13,000, and he came in at 12.9, also with the guarantee that he will not exceed 13,000. Happy to answer any questions for tonight regarding the system of what I can.
Thank
Don't
you.
get too technical.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the new security cameras using the capital improvement funds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the new security cameras for the police department and city hall. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the purchase of 18 Motorola Solutions WatchGuard body-worn cameras and accessories for the from the Capital Improvement Fund. That's you again.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the second project of the 4 that I proposed from the taking the fence off the project list and looking at more important features. The body cams are truly integral in doing transparency policing in this day and age. We need those out there to truly show what the officers are encountering, going through, protecting, as well as exposing, the realities of the calls. So we went with WatchGuard on this because WatchGuard is our current system within the police vehicles. And to change would be a 6-figure project of changing both car and body. And the WatchGuard is probably the most well-known and used widely by most of the mid-range or smaller departments in the Casey metro area here. So looking at equipping 18 cameras, which is, we're currently 16 full-time plus 4 part-time. The docking stations that exist in the station allows for those 2 extras to be there whenever a part-time officer comes in. All officer names are integrated into each body cam, so they just have to scroll through and put their name on the file. So once they put it on, they could even take one off my desk, because even the captain and myself will have a body cam, so that when we go out and have public interactions, those are also being recorded. The nice thing about it with having the vehicles also under WatchGuard is that when an officer gets into a vehicle, he places his body cam into a cradle, which syncs it with that vehicle. So once they're synced, he then puts it back on his body, and anything that his body cam picks up, the car is going to pick up as well, or it's going to turn on. So if the body cam comes on, the car comes on, and vice versa. If it's a 2-man unit, maybe we have someone in training, they both sync their body cams, it is then captured on all 3, both officers and the vehicle. So it works to make sure that we don't lose any video. And so if anyone's involved in that call from that car, it's going to be on there. One of the great things I found out is that last year, the city had actually increased our storage with WatchGuard on our cloud server. And so we went to a 6 terabyte server, which is perfect because this will enable us to maintain police contact video for 90 days and then evidentiary video for 1 year. Now that's saying it only stays on the service or the server for 90 days and 1 year, but anything of value, we still have the ability to burn it to a disk or a hard drive or a desktop and keep it for perpetuity. So that availability is there. So seeking approval to move forward with that purchase this evening, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Make a motion that we approve the purchase of the Motorola WatchGuard quotation with the $23,132 from the Capital Improvement Fund.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the body cams for the police department from the capital fund. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have made it to informational reports.
No.
No.
Oh, I missed one. I marked them off and I missed one, so good job. Maybe I was just testing you guys.
You guys just making sure we were paying attention.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed it. Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a presentation from the Public Works Director regarding the street prevention in Oak Grove, Missouri.
Matt's going to start it out, sorry.
You're gonna do this one?
I'm just gonna tee it up
Is
for
this
Tom,
a-
and
okay.
then, yeah, and then.
Yeah, how could I miss this? This is so important. This is a hot topic.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Hot topic.
So as the board is aware, the 2021 budget for the street and melon overlay program is $175,000 this year. And so Tom has prepared a recommendation for this year's program within that budget. Now, he's also put together an alternate plan, which includes additional funding. So the city's received approximately $340,000 in back taxes. Now, this is a one-time payment and is therefore ideal for infrastructure-related expenses. So as the board is aware, Oak Grove and several other cities in Missouri have been working to receive appropriate back taxes really for the last 5 years. The circuit court first ruled in our favor back in early 2017. As the courts go, there was appeals and it went on for a little bit longer than we thought it would. But fortunately, the case has been resolved and we've received those back taxes due. So as we did not know that this case would be resolved this year, the $340,000 was not included in this year's budget. So Tom has included streets that could be done this year if the board wanted to amend the budget to include that additional $340,000 on top of the $175,000 to bring the entire program up to about $500,000 for this year. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tom and
Thank you.
go over the technical
I
information.
know I've got my presentation that some of you have seen at least 3 times, so I just got a condensed version, but I'd like to get this out as often as I can because I still get calls on a lot of these streets that aren't ours. So the City of Oak Grove Public Works Department, we maintain about 42.9 centerline miles of streets. That includes pothole patching, snow operations, and what we're here to talk about tonight, the driving surface replacement or overlay, which we always do by contract. Oops, hang on here. Oh. Technology has failed me. Hey, bear with me here. I think I still have my other presentation open. Let's do this.
Are you trying to get to the map?
Well, I've got another
We all
map.
have
So,
a map.
so basically, I always like to throw this out too, that, you know, Broadway in front of City Hall is not, or is maintained by us. The Outer Belt roads, Northwest First, Southwest, and Southeast First is MoDOT as well. There's county roads. I get calls from Tarzany Lake, people thinking we overlay that, so I just like to throw that out there. Basically, this year's program, we have $175,000, which I get a lot of complaints on Salem, and I think I mentioned Salem at the last meeting. Salem, and I think you have the spreadsheet also in your packet. So Salem is $175,000 to do from Southeast First Street all the way to 12th Street. So that was what we were proposing to do. With additional monies, we can do another, what I've outlined is $304,000, which includes, it gets complaints on Southeast 8th Street between Broadway and Salem as well, which if you've driven that, that's one of the worst streets we have in the city. So while we're in that area adjacent to Salem, we can pick that up. A lot of these streets over here, not too far from City Hall, Southwest 19th, 20th Terrace, 21st Street from Maple to Broadway, and then Southwest 20th from Maple to Mitchell is scheduled on my target. And those are pretty high dollar streets because they involve what's called mill and overlay. Last year we just overlaid streets, and then Salem is off the same boat where it's got curbs. So we have to mill down and overlay, which is additional cost with milling. So that's why those streets are a little higher. And then also, these numbers were based on last year's bid prices, which was a smaller program, about 140. So, you know, there's an economy of scale. So if we bid a bigger project, we might get better prices. But then I don't know what asphalt is also done over the petroleum products. So I have some alternative streets, which are Southeast Salem from 12th to 15th. And there's some streets up in White Oak that are really bad that are going to require some base repair before we go in there. But if we get good bids, I can add these, and that's about 81.5. So, we can pick and choose from that list. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. But like I said, we could probably, typically we do between 100 and 150, 175 this year. So this additional money Matt's identified will let us, kind of skip ahead a couple years and get a lot of streets knocked out. So with that,
You tag teaming back?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
Because I had done a different map that just showed Salem, and then it showed everything we were planning on doing.
Different from the one we have in our packet.
Yeah, well, it's more or less that map. And on the map in your packet, you have Salem, which is green, what we're going to do with the 2021 budget, and then the blue is the additional, and then the yellow is the alternate if we get really good prices.
Okay.
So basically what I did is I took this map and just showed Salem as one street, here's this year's budget, and then added the other streets on there so you could kind of see, kind of get the scale of what's going on. Here we go. Okay, I think I may have it working here. Okay, so there is what I said. This is $175,000 worth of work right here, and then this is $500,000. That includes these streets back over here, a couple up north, and then the very tip you see the orange, and then you see Salem 15th or 12th, 15th in the orange.
But you still have to secure those bids, though, correct?
Right. This, like I said, this was based on last year's unit prices. So, and also we were kind of late in the season because of COVID and some other things. So this year, I'm going to try, if I get your consensus tonight, I'll get the packet ready and try to do it during the spring. And since we're going to be on Salem, I want to do it while there's no school in session, so we don't have to worry about detouring buses. So
is this just a presentation, or are we making an action? Yeah, this is-
You can direct city staff to do something, but right now it's a presentation.
oh, okay.
So if the board, some feedback, I guess, that we'd be looking for the board for tonight, is if the board does want to use that money for the street overlay program, maybe some of it or all of it, if you want to direct us to go out to bid, we'll do that, and then when the bids come back in, we'll of course come back to this board, let you know what those bids were, what streets can actually get done, and at the same time, we'll prepare a budget amendment for the back taxes that we've received for this year. Because we would like to go out to bid soon so that we can get good bids back, and then hopefully we can schedule it before school starts.
I make a motion that we send it out for bid and then have an alternate for the additional amount down here, the 81,500 included in the bid. So we can look at, once we find out what they cost, we'll make the determination on whether we want that added in or not.
Agreed.
Yeah, we don't really vote on it. It's
We're just agreeing
direct you
how we're
guys.
directing.
If you all agree, or if somebody really opposes of it, you might speak up now, or if you want to add something to it. I mean, you'll put it together and bring it back again and have everything together, right? Just like you said.
Any extra funds towards the street's a good thing, I think, so.
Okay, all right. Thank you, both of you. Next item on the agenda is information reports. Mr. Randall, do you have a report?
No report, thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Williams, no report. Mr. Sherwood?
Yes, I found out today that the pole for the Bent Oak Park outdoor warning siren should be delivered about, or should be shipped about May 25th. So we should get it in shortly after that, and I'll let you know when that's happening. Also, the outdoor warning siren test will be this Wednesday, weather permitting, at 11 a.m. as usual.
Thank you. Chief?
This past Saturday, we had the spring National Drug Take Back Day. We recovered 80 pounds of unused medications and over-counter prescriptions and over-the-counter medications. Not a stellar amount, but it's getting 80 pounds out that needs to be destructed. Checking with other communities, even say Liberty only had 50 pounds. It was beautiful weather. It was the city garage sale day, and so it was probably a lot more things going on in people's lives than thinking about it, but still happy with 80 pounds.
Is that always available? I know
Yes.
there's a foot drive for it, but it's, anybody can bring it at any time,
Yes,
right?
we will maintain the box in the lobby of City Hall, and that is open at any time.
Perfect,
Just please, no aerosols, no inhalers or syringes.
thank you.
And those are for deposits only, no withdrawals, correct?
That is for deposits only, yes.
Nice.
I have nothing.
Okay, Kathy? Scott?
Today was the first day of the senior center opening up. I believe we had about 35 people for lunch. Had several people for pool playing and other activities and bingo, so it was a good turnout, large crowd, and people seemed very happy, so we're hoping that trend continues. Then the only thing I was gonna add on that streets is the 30th Street Bridge, White County Road line is also a road that's getting a lot of traffic right now with the new construction going over there. That's something the board might want to kind of remember, as well as that crossing is bad. That's all
Which
I
one?
have. Right there by Ben Oak, 30th Street, that, right after,
The bridge,
Yeah.
the bridge.
White Road, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I have a question. Is there no swim team this year?
So we do not have coaches for swim team. If we find someone that wants to run swim team, we'll provide the space, assist them as best we can, but
Okay, somebody had asked, so.
yeah, we've gotten a few phone calls on that, but we've not had any volunteers yet to take it up. And we did get to also from the county that they have relieved all restrictions on the aquatic center, so it will be up to full capacity. And that was some good news.
Pretty good.
That's good news. Alderwoman Kim, do you have a
I
report?
have nothing to report.
Kelly?
Actually, yes. So I helped and participated with the tree board and the park board and the Parks Department on was that Saturday? Friday afternoon, Friday evening with the Arbor Day celebration where we handed out tree saplings? Seedlings. I knew I was going to say it wrong. We had a pretty good turnout. I think we gave around 200 away. Baby trees. I know, I just kept calling them baby trees. So it was really neat to see community members drive up and pick up these tree babies. And I have to give props to the Parks Department for the very first year that they'd ever even attempted something like this. I think the turnout was great. I think it'll be even bigger and better next year. And they still do have some tree babies to pick up. So if anyone in the community is still interested, just reach out to the Parks Department and I'm sure we can get you some tree babies.
Good job.
Right? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I wasn't done yet. I'm done now. Thank you.
Report.
You report?
No report.
No report.
No report.
No report.
No report.
No report. Do I have a motion for executive session? Anyone
I
want to
make a
try?
motion that we adjourn to executive session 610.021, 610, that's all of it. Dang it.
Well, I'm pretty proud of you.
610.021.
I'm pretty proud of you
I
right
thought there
now.
was three more.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to adjourn to
Wait,
executive.
wait.
610-021-23.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go
2,
2, 3.
Add that 2, 3, and
13.
13 in there.
Do them
and then
all.
you're
2,
good to go.
3, and 13.
Yeah, start over. You want to do it over?
Oh,
Do
well.
it over.
Okay. I shut it. Okay, I'm there.
Here you
Hang
go.
on. Nope, I got it. Okay. I make a motion, we adjourn to executive session 610.021, 2, 3, and 13.
Very good.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn to executive session 610.021, 2, 3, and 13. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Kelly Netto,
Yes.
Brett Alexander,
Yes.
Jim Trout.
Yes.
We are adjourned.